Don't say it, 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 don't say it. Man, I can't believe it's almost 2024. This year really flew by. What's happening to me? Of all the years to convince me that we live in a simulation, I think 2023 really takes the cake. There were so many just weird things that happened this year, and it's not the fact that weird things happen. We live on planet Earth. Weird things happen. It's the amount of weird things. It felt a lot like an 11-year-old got bored playing Sims and decided to spice things up a bit. Firstly, we have the Chinese spy balloon incident, which happened earlier in the year, which is oddly the most normal thing to happen this year. This was quickly followed up by the US government shooting down several unidentified flying objects over the US and Canada, and basically saying, yeah, we don't know what that was. It was high altitude, unmanned, made of metal, and just sitting there. Menacingly. They described it as a cylindrical metal object, but I don't know about you, all I saw was a Chipotle burrito and it made me very hungry. The funniest part about this whole incident is what was trending on Twitter. Was it aliens? UFO? No, it was the name of the town in Alaska. For obvious reasons. Speaking of aliens and the US government, we also had the UFO hearings with David Grush, a former US intelligence officer and whistleblower who came forward to reveal what he could about the US's program with regard to UAPs, or unidentified aerial phenomenon. Little known fact about me, I used to have a huge fascination with UFOs. I did grow up in the 90s when X-Files was all the rage, but I was terrified of X-Files. But I still loved aliens, man. I am a sci-fi geek, and if aliens are real, please take me with you, good God. And again, the best part of this whole thing wasn't so much the news, it was the reaction to the news. Because did we react with mass hysteria? Oh my God, aliens are real. Ontological shock. We are not alone. No, this was the reaction. Guess what? Aliens may or may not exist. Do I still have to go to work tomorrow? I don't think you heard me. Aliens. As in, from outer space? Do I still have to pay my rent? Of course. Then I don't care. And honestly, same. Guys. Aliens. They probably exist. Oh, that's interesting. Are they hot? What do you mean? On a scale between 1 and 10, how attractive are they? I mean, they're from another planet. They probably don't have the same appendages we do. I don't know, I'll find a way. Good God. I had two reactions. First of all, it was, cool, this is how much groceries are? What the f? And also, didn't we already kind of know all this? This feels like a nothing burger. Yes, we know the US has been hiding stuff, but you know what? At least normies were starting to talk about it, and it kind of proved that people probably won't panic, especially if Netflix keeps raising their prices. And then of course in the summer, we had a billionaire DIY something that you should never DIY, a submarine. And we all know how that played out. First of all, do not get your parts from Amazon. Jeffrey Bezos may have been to space, but he does not have your back. And if a billionaire offers to sell you a ticket to go to Venus, I hate to crush your little heart, but it's not worth it, man. But that is not why we are here today. We are here for more important matters, to talk about my favorite things.
These are a few of my favorite things. People that are dying.
So I did a video a lot like this last year where I rounded up all of my favorite things of the year, whether that be skincare, food, photography equipment, makeup, clothes, my dog. You're my favorite forever and ever.
You have a smooth brain.
So firstly, let's start with photography gear and content creation gear. This year, I have been really inspired by cinematic content creators who really put the effort into their footage. And even though I have a long ways to go, that is something that I have made my goal, to put more effort into my filming. And even though a lot of my videos are just sit down talking head videos like this one, I do want to try to do more vlogs and actually take my camera out and try to document things, which I did try to do this year. However, what really changed things for me was a new lens that I got. Now, previously I had a couple couple of vlog cameras, but I haven't been too impressed with them. And I have also used my phone. But there was a huge discrepancy between the quality of footage that I get in studio and when I go out. But my camera is a big boy, and my favorite lens that I mentioned last year in my favorites is kind of a big boy too. It was actually originally for my Rebel, and it had an EF mount instead of an RF mount, so I did have to get an adapter, which made it even bigger. And even though the bokeh was beautiful and the depth of field was mwah, I definitely couldn't vlog with it. It would break my arm. What I did was I did some research, and I actually found a lens that is perfect for me. It is slightly wide angle, but not completely so. It gets a pretty big picture and all of the things around it, but also has a decent amount of bokeh as well, which if you don't know what bokeh is, it's just like the glittery blurriness of the background. And you're actually viewing me from that lens, because even though I got that lens for vlogging to make my camera body a bit lighter on the go, I ended up using it a lot for my filming, because even though it is a much cheaper and much smaller, more compact lens, and it's a 2.8 aperture instead of a 1.4, and it's a 28 millimeter instead of a 34, I do think that it is pretty comparable when it comes to video. Now, my 1.4 35 millimeter Sigma lens is still so much better when it comes to bokeh and depth of field, but to the untrained eye, this lens is still really good, to the point where I've been using it even with my talking head videos, because it is a lot easier to keep on my camera body. It's a better walk around lens, and since it is much smaller and lighter, it has made it so much easier to take my professional camera out with me to vlog. Now, there is one thing that I was missing though that was crucial for taking my camera out and vlogging outdoors, especially on a sunny day, and that is an ND filter, which is basically like sunglasses for a lens or your camera. So when your picture is overexposed, basically what you have to do is you have to turn up the aperture, which is the f-stop number. That does close the iris of the lens, making it darker. So when you're in a really bright environment, it does help with that. The only problem with that is that it does affect the depth of field, so you do get less bokeh, and it does have its limits. Mine goes up to 22. When I was vlogging at the Ren Fair in bright daylight, I had to go all the way up to 22 in several spots, and it was still really bright. So what an ND filter does is it helps to darken the picture a little bit, so you don't have to mess with the aperture as much. And it is adjustable. There is a ring here. Let me see if I can actually demonstrate. See how it like darkens it depending on how you turn it. Now, the next piece of equipment that I purchased this year was definitely a necessity, and it was kind of like last minute, a little bit of an emergency. I was in the middle of filming a video, and my Elgato lights decided to stop connecting to the app on my phone, and unfortunately, the Elgato key lights that I have don't have a manual adjustment on it. They were in the off position in the app, so I couldn't turn them on, so then I reset them, and then they were set to 50% brightness, which was not enough light, and I couldn't fix it because it wouldn't connect. So I ended up panicking and ordering these lights by JVM, and I will link these down in the description, as well as the other things that I'm mentioning. I specifically picked these out because, first of all, they have manual toggles in the back to adjust the warmth and the brightness. You can connect it to an app, but I guess I'm old school and I decided to not use the app. Another thing that I love about these compared to my Elgato lights is these came with tripods. My Elgato lights came with like a clamp to a desk, because previously I was going to use it for art streaming, and the tripods that these came with are really nice, really sturdy, and everything is collapsible. You can take it apart, and they came with a carrying case to put everything in so I can take it on the go. The other thing that I like that I'm planning on using in the future is that in addition to the plug-in situation to plug it into a power outlet, you can actually use batteries for them. Now, batteries did not come with the lights, batteries not included, but they are something that you can purchase separately, and I do plan on buying a few packs of batteries at some point, but they're just expensive. So eventually I will be getting batteries so that I can take these on the go and go on the go shoots where I may not have access to a power outlet, like maybe outside or something, like in the dark in a back alley. Lastly, when it comes to gear, one of the things that I got was this here backdrop, which I'm not completely centered in front of right now. I kind of switch it up every video because I'm indecisive, but I do a lot of like my outfit stuff in front of this as well. It's kind of allowed me to have my own like designated filming space for more, what do you call it? Because previously it was kind of like moving around my room. And so now I kind of found my little corner. One thing though is I do not have it on an actual professional backdrop thingy stand. What I did was I just got a $5 curtain rod from Ross and I put it up on the wall here, and it's actually in front of my closet because I don't really have the space to actually set up like a backdrop with the tripods and everything. This is a lot more convenient for me, and when I want to get into the closet I just move. It's like it's literally a curtain at this point. I will link this down in the description because every time I film in front of this someone asks me where I got my backdrop, so do not worry, that will be in the description, and if I forget, please yell at me in the comments. Next category, we are going to cover thrifted pieces. Now, this year I haven't been thrifting as much. I still thrift more than the normal person, but you know, baby steps. So I don't really have a lot of things to cover. Also, the things that I did thrift were all bangers, so it would be really hard for me to narrow it down, and I would be inclined to pick the things I thrifted more recently because those are the things that have grabbed my attention the most. But I will mention some things that have added a lot of value to my life. First of all, I grabbed this beautiful random, I think it might be a bathroom medicine cabinet or something, or a spice cupboard. I'm not really sure what it is, but what I use it for is for my paints and some of my crafting supplies, because I had everything kind of thrown into a trunk, and I still use the trunk for my bigger things, but I wanted to put my smaller pieces and things that I use the most often so that they are easily accessible and right in front of me. So I had my husband mounted to the wall above my desk, and it has been such a blessing and I love it. It has such a like apothecary, hobbity, magical vibe to it. I didn't really have to do anything to it besides hang it, didn't paint it. I love it. Moving on. The next thing doesn't really provide value, it's just pretty. I guess I could put things in it, but my little fairy trinket jar thing that my friend found at Goodwill when we went thrifting. This was in the thumbnail of one of my thrift videos, and my voice just got weird. I need water. Does that happen to anyone else? Talk too much and your throat gets drier than the Sahara? Where were we? Oh yeah, the fairy. Why did my voice crack? So yeah, I'm pretty sure that fairy was why that video did super well, and I just love looking at it. Yes, it just sits there. It doesn't add any value to my life besides making me feel happy. And then also we have the high-waisted Levi corduroy pants that I found. I haven't worn them too much yet because it only just started getting cold, but they are definitely going to be a favorite because they are comfy and they are cozy and they are very, very, I was gonna say autumnal, but it's frickin' December. I guess since we are here and I have my flask, I should probably give these people a shout out because I am perpetually dehydrated. Venture Pal sent me this water bottle a few months ago and I was supposed to make content about it. Whoops. And they also sent me some electrolytes, and electrolytes have been like a thing I have been on lately because I am perpetually dehydrated because I forget water exists. And I always wondered why after I drank water with electrolytes, I immediately felt more mentally clear and focused and less tense. And I thought it was because, hey, maybe you should drink more water. Maybe that's why, you dumb idiot. But no, as it turns out, electrolytes generally have magnesium in them, and magnesium are really good for the ADHD autism brains and people with anxiety, and it is something that we need. Most people, we all need it. It's a thing humans need, but I guess we just need it more because our brains are always on maximum overdrive speed. So yeah, thank you to Venture Pal for sending me this, and I'm sorry I never made content about it. I was gonna do like a Ren Fair tips series on TikTok and kind of like the video that I did here, but like split up into bite-sized pieces. But I just kind of got a little demotivated. But hey, you get a shout out here, buddy. I'll put my affiliate stuff in the doobly-doo. And speaking of magnesium, because of the information that I obtained about magnesium, I have started supplementing with magnesium. And I know the studies say that supplementing does nothing, but even if it's a placebo, at least I feel better, man. TikTok tried to tell me that it is better to take magnesium topically when it comes to supplementing, like magnesium sprays and lotions and baths, and I do all of that, but I feel the best when I take it orally in pill form. So I'll show you guys the ones that I take. Firstly, I've known about magnesium for a little while. I just thought that it gave me so I stopped taking it. Come to find out, there are different types of magnesium, and I was taking magnesium citrate, which can have a laxative effect. But this is magnesium glycinate, which is one that helps you be calm and not a ball of anxiety, and you actually sleep at night. Fun fact about me, there are times when I go days without sleeping. I don't mean like I got like a piss poor night's sleep. I mean I'm literally awake for days. And that has not happened since I started taking magnesium. I still sometimes have bad nights where it's like 3 a.m. and I'm still wide awake, but it happens less when I'm consistent with the magnesium. I also have taken this type of magnesium, but more so during the day. This one wakes you up, whereas that one knocks you out. Like, I wouldn't recommend taking the glycinate in the middle of the day unless you want to fall asleep. But this one is magnesium L-threonate. This one supports memory and cognitive function. I am not a scientist or a medical doctor, so I cannot give you medical advice. Take everything I say with a grain of salt. Not a grain of magnesium. I'm kidding. You might have been able to surmise that I am a homebody girly, I am a winter fall girly, so therefore I am a candle girly. And I have acquired some candles this year that I'm obsessed with, and all of these were gifted from a brand, full disclosure, but I genuinely love these, and they are nerdy themed in a way. So firstly, Crafty Gamer sent me so many candles this year. One of my favorites though is Hidden Orchard. And this one is apple, nutmeg, clove, and vanilla, and it smells like fall. It smells like apple pie and a warm hug. The next one from Crafty Gamer is Forest of the Fae, and this one is flowers, musk, amber, and moss. And I do not know how to describe this, but I want to smell like this. It is a fairy. It's what a fairy smells like. It is florally, but rich. I'm not much of like a perfume girl, but if they made a perfume of this, like I want to smell like this. This would be my signature scent, but instead I have it as a candle, and I have been burning it very sparingly because I don't want to run out, even though I could probably get more from them. And then the third candle is by Mythology Candles. If you are a nerdy fantasy lover, you've probably heard of this brand, and they recently, within the last few months, came out with a Ren Fair line, and they of course sent it to me because I am your designated Ren Fair friend. And my favorite one from this line is Shakespeare's Stage. And I don't know how they encapsulated the feeling of a Ren Fair and a candle scent, but somehow they did it. This smells how Ren Fairs feel. It is amazing, it is magical, it is fun, and yet the scent is also somewhat handsome. And then in the realm of, listen, I am not an essential oil girly. However, I do have some essential oils that I like. Specifically, I really like rosemary oil, specifically for, that's a lot of specifically, for hair care. If you did not know, rosemary is very beneficial for hair growth, whether you're trying to grow your hair out, make it grow faster, longer, thicker. Kind of found out about it in like a coincidental way. So I have a shampoo, like a natural herbal shampoo that I was using that had rosemary in it, and I noticed that my hair was growing like a weed, and my hair grows slow, man. I was a bald baby. I didn't have hair until I was like 4 or 5. And even to this day, it grows like an inch a year. But I've noticed in the last couple years, it has grown a lot for how fast it usually grows. I was looking up the ingredients of the shampoo because I'm like, it has to be this shampoo. That's the only thing I've changed. And come to find out, rosemary helps with hair growth. So I ended up buying a whole freaking bottle of rosemary oil, and I do use a couple carrier oils. I use jojoba oil, and then I also add castor oil because that's really good for like strengthening hair follicles and hair growth. And I use that as like a scalp mask every once in a while before I wash my hair, in addition to the herbal shampoo. And I don't know, I feel like my hair has grown grown so much. It is longer than my extensions now. I no longer have to wear my extensions. I only wear them when I want my hair to be thicker, like have really thick mermaid hair. So these are a couple of products that I actually talked about last year in my favorites, but I did say that I would follow up because I had just started using them. Last year, my skin just started having a fit. I don't know why, but I started breaking out in eczema like on my neck and my shoulders and my eye, and I couldn't really figure out what it was. For a while I thought it was hyaluronic acid, so I ended up switching to some products that are very good for sensitive skin. So this is Curel Fundamental Solutions for Dry Sensitive Skin, which is me to a T. I actually have this on auto ship on Amazon to be shipped to me every month, so I don't forget. I need to do that with this, but this is the cleanser, and this is a foaming cleanser. It is gentle, but it's not harsh. It does not strip your skin, but it does get all of the makeup off, which is really great. And another thing is, like, it comes with this little clip that is attached to this and you can take it off. And I'm guessing it's so it doesn't spill in transit, but I keep it so when I travel, I just take this whole dang thing with me because I love it so much, and it's a foam thing and I need it to foam. So yeah, that's pretty convenient. So yes, I still love these. I still use these. I think that they have kind of mitigated the flare-ups a little bit, which I still kind of get, but it has been better. I no longer think it's hyaluronic acid, so I have reintroduced it again with the ordinary, like the drops, but I still love this even though it doesn't have hyaluronic acid, so I just use it as like a, what do you call it, a serum over the top after I do moisturize. I don't know if that's the correct order. I know with skincare you need the right order, but whatever, man. And since we are on the topic of the ordinary, I do want to shout out to my favorite serum that I talked about as an alternative to a serum that I was not impressed with, and this is the Ordinary Multi-Peptide the multi-peptide and copper serum. I feel like it makes my skin very soft and plump, and I think it's helping with keeping me young and fresh. And I do notice a difference like when I run out of this and I don't use it. I think it really helps with my texture. And then something that I discovered this year was also kind of an accident. It was both because of my eye breakout as well as TikTok. So let me walk it back for you. Last year and a little earlier this year, I was having like a problem with, like, I think there was a combination of eczema and a sty that kept flaring up. I don't know what, but my eye was swelling, it was itchy, it was bumpy, it was horrible. And I got an eye cleanser, and it was supposed to help like clean all the bad bacteria and clean off any, like, if you have any dirt or dust or pollen or anything on the eyelashes. It was like an eyelid and eyelash cleanser, and it was a spray. And it was really weird. It smelled like pool water, and I was like, this is really concerning, but it worked. It helped to clear up the situation on my eye, and I ended up using it all, and the eye thing didn't come back, so I stopped using it. And then I was on TikTok and someone was talking about this spray that helps with acne, but it also helps to repair the moisture barrier, makes your skin like really moist and be able to like soak up your products. And so basically like a hydrating mist, but it was super expensive from Sephora. But they were like, hey, this spray is literally just this one skincare ingredient, which you can buy just buying the ingredient on Amazon, and it's super cheap. So I did some research and I found it, and it is by the brand Bryotech. The product is hypochlorous acid, and I noticed that the reviews were like, it smells like bleach, it smells like pool water, it smells like chlorine, it's so weird, but it works. And it's not bleach, it's not chlorine, it just kind of smells like it a little bit. It has like an off-putting smell. And I was like, that's weird, that's kind of like the spray cleanser that I use for my eye. I still had a little bit left of that cleanser, and I went into my medicine cabinet and found it. Come to find out, it is the same dang product, and I was spending more money on that little eye cleanser because it was marketed as an eye cleanser. So this size bottle costs about $20-ish. So let me some math for you. The more ounces you buy in one go, the less you spend per fluid ounce. So I did not realize that. I accidentally bought this when I ran out of this size bottle, and I was like, huh, this is smaller than I remember. And then I found out that I could buy it in a big ass bottle and just refill my spray bottles. And it was almost half the amount, like half the price per fluid ounce. So I kept the big bottle because this one mists better. This one's better for travel, but for some reason, when I spray it, it's like, it's a lot. Whereas this one is just a little mist. I feel like it really has helped with my breakouts, like when I've remembered to use it, because my forehead is a pizza right now, probably because all the pizza and ice cream I've been eating. I would say I recommend it, I like it, but do your research, do your due diligence, take everything I say with a grain of salt, because I am not a genius. I am just a girl on the internet, and sometimes relying on dark humor to get through the day. When it comes to brushes, this is a brush that I got, and it's from e.l.f. And this little guy is really good for making a very sharp, very thin wing. And I generally use eyeshadow for my wings now. I used to be a huge fan of the liquid eyeliner. I definitely had an emo phase. But this is really good for just applying like a thin little, natural little subtle wing and really getting into your eyelashes and blending it and making it look pretty natural as one can be when they're wearing synthetic pigments on their face. This little guy has made it a lot easier for me to add a wing because I am 85 now and can't be bothered. I have been wearing this sweater so god dang much, and you guys have probably seen it on this channel more than once. It is this Knock Thrice cardigan, and I don't remember the name. But it is this autumnal cozy cardigan with all of this embroidery detail, and that is what Knock Thrice is known for. She started with embroidering hats and berets, and now she has outsourced and expanded her business to where she makes these amazing designs, and she even did an Over the Garden Wall collection and a cryptid collection, and I want everything that Knock Thrice Nora makes, but I am poor. I do have another cardigan from Knock Thrice, but this one's my favorite. I do prefer the cropped design over the long design. I almost got the mushroom one, but I am poor. But this was a splurge, and it is so soft, it is thick, it is good quality, and unfortunately you can't buy it, at least right now. There was a restock, but I'm pretty sure they sold out again, but I will put the Knock Thrice website in the description because there are new drops, there are restocks, and all of that, and pre-orders. Ever so often, you can join the newsletter, and you can also follow Nora on Instagram and TikTok and get all of your Knock Thrice sweater news there as well. Okay, so I was about to go and end this video without acknowledging and talking about the amazing growth that this channel has had over the past year. I just got back my #MyYearOnYouTube 2023 insights, and 22,000 of my subscribers have come from 2023 alone, which is, I mean, I'm no math person, but that sounds like 90% of my subscribers have been gained from this year alone, and I started in 2021, so I feel like that's quite amazing. So I wanted to take time to say thank you guys so much for joining me on this journey and watching my videos. It really means a lot to me. I do work really hard on these videos, and they are something that I'm very passionate about, so I'm really grateful to have you guys here along with me. And so I wanted to just talk about a couple of my favorite videos that I've made this year and my favorite projects. First of all, we have my felt flower fairy hat. This is not only one of my favorite videos, but also one of my favorite crafts this year. I am so very proud of this hat. I never thought I would be able to make something this pretty and whimsical, and it's definitely one of my favorites. Also, my fairy wings. I was very proud of these as well. They were definitely a labor of love, and I actually ended up making 2 pairs this year. Although the second video didn't do as well, I'm still very proud of it. I made a pair for a friend, and then I went and made my own pair. So yes, I've made 2 pairs this year. And then of course, my best performing video this year was definitely my fairy shoes video. One of my favorite videos as well, and also my favorite crafts. I think I prefer the hat and the wings, but I still love these shoes, and the floral ones I definitely wear more often, although I will be repainting the leaf ones because I didn't use leather or fabric specific paint because I didn't know, and the paint is kind of getting messed up. So I'm definitely going to be fixing that pretty soon. And then there was the whimsical home decorating video. I did several crafts in this one and some decorating, and this is not only one of my favorite crafting videos, but also one of my favorite videos in general, because it was one of those videos where I kind of had to do in little chunks of time, so I feel like it was perfectly segmented and paced. Then we had the appearance of my husband and my animals, which I feel like any video that features my family are definitely my favorite, because it's one thing to have just me in the video, but when I'm able to show people that I love and my animals, I don't know, it just makes me so happy. And yeah, so I'm very proud of this video, and it's also one of the videos that really did well on my channel, so I'm very grateful for that. that. And I'm glad you guys really enjoy these videos. I mean, I know I said this before, but I really appreciate you guys, and I'm glad to bring joy to your lives and to your days. And I'm also very happy to provide inspiration for your crafting, your thrifting, just, you know, make you smile and all that stuff. You know, not to sound mushy or sentimental. I mean, there's nothing wrong with that. I just sometimes I get a little awkward when when it comes to feelings. But yeah, I really appreciate it. You guys are the best. And yeah, so I'm gonna give it back to the Scotty that originally recorded this video. Okay, bye. All right, baby, that is a lot of stuff that I have covered today. And I think I'm gonna let you get back to your day. Thank you guys so much for watching. I really hope you enjoyed this video. I really hope it provided some sort of entertainment or distraction for you. But just remember that I care about you guys all, and when in doubt, be nice, be kind to people, and also subscribe to my channel because it helps my cats and my dog out a lot. If it's not for me, do it for the animals. That's where I'm gonna end it, guys. Comment down below whatever the heck you want. What did you thrift this year? What were your favorite things this year? And that's it. Okay, bye. You're like, Bish, go. Leave. Turn off the camera. Okay, I'm doing it. Oh, lastly, I would like to thank Ivy City Co. for sending me a couple of dresses. Even though I am not a mom and don't fit your core aesthetic, I am a chaotic forest fairy, and I am not a influencer. But thank you for this dress. It satisfies my little gothic heart. Thank you.